Year's resolutions and goals, sometimes I think we get in this kind of toxic mindset of perfectionism and wanting to be someone who we're not, and not thinking that we have value until we reach a certain point. And we've started to recognize that setting goals that we can't live up to creates those feelings. And I totally get that. But I also don't want to lean too far the other way and think that it's like we shouldn't ever make goals and we shouldn't ever make New Year's resolutions. I love thinking of a new year as a time to get to set and make goals, to try to push yourself to think, what did I achieve last year? What am I going to achieve this year? And to set some goals in order to do that. I think what's most important is that instead of trying to reach a goal just for some external reason, is that we do goals that really come from within and that are true to ourselves. In my past, I did struggle with perfectionism, and I struggled with thinking I wasn't worth anything until I had reached a certain amount or had um, gotten a certain grade on a test or something like that. And living life like that is just really hard. And now I am in a spot where I love who I am and I love being myself. And that doesn't mean that I don't have goals. It doesn't mean that I don't want to push myself. In fact, now more than ever do I have goals. Now more than ever do I push myself. And because that's a part of who I am. So if you're someone right now and you're thinking, wow, I have some goals I want to reach for New Year's, I think that's great. There's a lot of advice on the internet on how to make you more likely to succeed at your goal. People talk about making them more like experiments or making them more like a daily goal instead of like a big long term year goal. And I think the answer there is just whatever works best for you. But it really involves knowing yourself, right? If you feel like you're going to be someone who has a perfectionism, try to be a little bit kinder. And if you feel like you're someone who loves setting a high goal because that motivates you, then go for it. But I love when people push themselves. I think sometimes we take this word ambition, and in today's context, it's just kind of a negative word. We associate ambition with greed and with power and with people who manipulate others, and I think that's completely valid. I do think there is a lot of that in the world, but sometimes I think that we also are kind of lacking ambition lately, especially in this generation, in my generation. I feel like lots of times I see a lot of people around me that they just don't really want to do anything. And again, it's not my place to judge who wants to do what, but I love ambition, not in the way of I want to make a lot of money or I want to have a lot of power or anything like that, but I am very ambitious. I have a lot of goals I want to reach. I have a lot of ideas of who I am and of how I can show that's who I am. And so I think it's okay to have high expectations, but also just be kind to yourself and push yourself, but also love yourself. Um, One time I saw a video or a quote or something on the internet, I don't remember what it was, but it just said, like, I'm the coolest person I know. And that really stuck out with me because do I think I'm the coolest person I know? And of course, it's not saying cool in the sense of like, I'm so cool, everybody thinks I'm cool and I'm the cool kid at school or whatever. No, it's that like who I, Tyler, think is something that's cool are the things I enjoy. Someone who does all the things I enjoy and is who I'd want to be. That's what I think is cool. And I think I am in a not trying to sound uh, arrogant way. I think I am like the coolest person I know because I do all the hobbies that I love and I act the way that I want. And and I push myself to grow and to learn. And so this year I have goals. I have resolutions, and they're goals that I didn't just randomly make uh, last night at the end of the year, but things that I've been thinking about, things that I've already been working on, but things that I'm going to take the help of having a calendar boost to work towards. And I'm not going to say right now what my resolutions are. And the reason for that is because I often fall into the trap of thinking that if I share my resolutions, I am making progress on them. If I share my goals, I think I'm already accomplishing them. I'm someone who has found that I like to first get well into a goal, and then I can start saying, yeah, this is my goal. and I already have plenty of proof that that is actually a goal that I'm seriously working on. And that's just what works for me. So again, if you're someone who does like to tell people, then maybe share some goals. You can share them here, or you can talk to someone, write them down. I do love writing my goals down, and that way you can help keep yourself accountable. But again, I think most important, just like be kind to yourself, like love yourself, and that's what's actually going to make your goals come true. And it might not come true exactly the way you're literally thinking about it, but as long as we have this idea of who we are and we're doing things that are consistent with our character, I think you'll be happy with the way you progress. So I just wanted to throw that quick reminder out here right now in the sea of all these ideas and thoughts on the new year, is that like it's okay to have goals. Like I wish you the best of luck in your goals, and I know that you can do it. Right, work hard and be happy, and just try to find that meaning in your life. And again, don't do it for the external reasons. Don't do it for the money or the fame or the power or any of that. Do it because it comes within, and like I think that will help you a lot. That's what's helped me. So just wanted to share that. I wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully you'll see me around.